friends and family. Welcome back to Open Hearts Conversations, where every journey begins with an open heart. I am your host, Pumelele, and I am incredibly excited to go on this journey with you. So, on today's episode, I want us to talk about growing up. I want us to discuss being a grown up and having independence. The moving out, having your own space, you calling all the shots, all of that is so incredibly liberating and is so freeing and it's so much fun and you can't wait. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, there's another side to it, right? There's another side that I want us to really break down. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of context, this year, actually in a few days, I am turning 29. So I am at the end of my 20s. Wow, how do I feel about this? Yeah, I think it's been quite a journey, and I think this is the last year that I get to sing, Scissor's 20 somethings. And yeah, we've been singing that song for a while now. This time next year we'll be living so good. Can't remember your name. What does it say? Yes. Okay, anyway. I am turning 29 in exactly 8 days. Wow, exciting. But I just wanted to just have a conversation about adulting and how it's been, and some of the things that you start experiencing and you start looking at just a little bit differently. And can we be honest about one thing? Oh my god, I feel like adulting is just like another word for like chores and bills and more chores and more bills and just more stuff. It's like an endless to-do list, to always, and I mean always, something that needs to be done. And you know what? It has to be done by you, because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. So I'm a single 29-year-old living on her own, completely independent, basically. And, when I moved to Cape Town, which is amazing, amazing, but it is also such a tough place to make friends. And I am an introvert and I like to be on my own. I'm a homebody. And, sometimes you really start feeling the weight of being the one person who's responsible for you, if you get what I mean. If you don't move the dishes, nobody's going to do it. If you don't make the food, you are not going to eat, So I want us to just discuss, the freedoms and all the good things that come with being independent, but also the other side, which is a bit overwhelming, that reality of independence as well. So yeah, let's dive right in. But also just a disclaimer, I want to also remind you that I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, and we are just on this journey together. So when I share my own personal experiences, sometimes it's things that have worked for me and might not necessarily work for you, but the whole idea is just for that you don't feel alone. You know that other people are going through the same or similar things as you do, basically. So yeah, grab a drink, you know, grab a little some, and let's dive right in. So the good stuff, right? So I want to start with the good stuff. I think we can all agree that it's absolutely amazing when you first move out of, living under your parents' house and getting freedom to have your own space. You set your own time. You do things whenever you want to. Nobody's telling you anything. Nobody don't have a curfew. So it's just amazing. You get to, arrange things in the way that you like. You get to be comfortable, run around in almost nothing. I just got a new apartment. I'm gonna leave the floor. Wait, I'm sorry. I apologize. That is not, I should not be doing that. I should not be doing that. I'm trying to keep an audience, not scare people away. But anyway, so, there are these awesome little joys that you get out of having your own personal freedom and being in your own space. And I think, when I moved out of home, I was 17. Damn. Okay, I was 17 going into university, and I've never, okay, maybe the one time. Oh gosh, I'm getting my timelines mixed up. I'm so sorry. But I moved out when I was 17 to go to university, and um I returned home, moving home back to my parents' house um in 2020. Yeah, after my job ended. Gosh. Yeah, in 2020, for it was no longer than 6 months, because shortly after I moved, and then I moved away to Pretoria again. But yeah, that's how long I've been out of my mom's house, essentially. So I think it's been a fair, it's been a good amount of, time to know what's up. And there's been a whole lot of adjustments that I've had to do. Also, the things that come with moving away from your hometown and your home and the city that you are used to. Oh my God, will it challenge you? But you will learn, and you will grow, and you will meet parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. You will go to places where you don't know nothing, and you don't know no one, and you will learn how to rely on people. You get out of your comfort zone so much, and sometimes you recognize that being an introvert here is not going to help me. I'm going to need to speak to someone. Otherwise, it's life or death in that moment. I remember moving once to, gosh, we moved to Pretoria, and yo, imagine being in a place where you don't speak the language, you don't know nobody there. Yeah, it was hectic, but because God's grace, there will be people who will help you along the way. You will find people who will be kind, and things always have a way of working out. And yeah, love that. Love that. And when I think the other thing that is also really good, apart from just the growth and the positive ways in which you are challenged as just like as a person, but I think your perspective also begins to shift. And as someone who comes from a small town, I recognize that how much moving away from my town opened up my world, and I started seeing um, things a little bit differently, and I started to understand that the world is so much bigger than where I come from and the things that I know and I've become used to. And so even my thinking also expanded in that moment, and I was so curious, and I started discovering more of myself even, and I wanted to do more. You start meeting different people. You have really interesting conversations, and you start seeing life differently. And I think that is something that I would encourage any young person, to do, to leave home and go out there and find yourself. If you don't find anything else, at least find yourself. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all the good stuff, the really good stuff. But I also want to talk about the other side. Can we vent? Can we vent just a little bit? Because the amount of time that you spend on just like upkeep, daily upkeep of just so that you can live, so that you can survive. There's always something needs to be clean. There's always some errands that need to be run. Something. It's a never ending cycle, and it's every day and it's constant. And the financial responsibilities. Whew. Like, I respect my mom. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she did it because my mom had me at 21. And at 21, what did I know? I'm 29 now, and I still feel like I cannot manage having a child. And can you imagine what a 21-year-old is doing? So I have another level of respect for my mother for being able to do the things that she was able to do and raising me and my siblings. Like, big ups. There's paying bills, there's budgets, there's that whole thing about saving up for the future. Like, okay. It's it's like you constantly having to find a place between living your life, but then also needing to have a level of discipline. You can't lean too much to one side, because otherwise you're gonna mess things up. So that's the reality of this life, and being an adult. It's not easy. And to be real, there are going to be mistakes. You're going to make a ton of mistakes, but it's understanding that there is learning. You are honestly always and constantly learning. And the other thing that I want to also just chat about is the emotional and mental upkeep that is required. And I'm talking from the perspective of being single, independent woman. Yeah. And when you live alone, you are constantly having to come to face with yourself. There will be days that are really tough. You will be in the trenches. It'll be difficult. But the reality is that your life now is not going to, not just yours, but life in general, it's not going to stop and wait for you to get better. So when you are having a bad day, the responsibilities that you've set aside, they will still be there waiting for you. So however long you take to wallow in your misery, or to rot, as the girlies on social media say, know that when you return back, your responsibilities still wait for you. And this is where having a support system comes into place, because if you're not strong enough to be able to pull yourself back, yes, you need to have somebody that you can lean on. Because it's easy to feel overwhelmed. It's hard, like, it's tough. but you need to have people who will be there in your corner, um, to help you get through some of the things that you need to get through. They might not be able to physically do things for you, but you need the moral support at least. And one of the hardest things also becomes having to maintain a balance between your personal time and your life and work. And oh gosh, I did not realize how much time I would have to spend as an adult working. It's really like we spend our lives at work and we visit home. Like, I don't know if work-life balance exists. Like, it's a fairy tale that people tell us, because the ratio also doesn't make sense. 5 days and 2 days, nah, it doesn't make sense. But the reality also is that independence requires a lot of self-management. There's a lot of things that you need to put into place to support yourself. So it means a lot of planning needs to happen. If meal prepping is not your girl, you have to figure something out. Like, are you going to make, you know, meals that are easier to, your 10-minute, 15-minute meals? Because it's not every time that you're going to be able to cook proper, but you need to eat, but you also need to maintain that I need to eat healthy food. Yeah, so like I said, a constant to-do list, but you have to be able to self-manage, and you also build a lot of resilience. And I constantly surprise myself. Personally, I am constantly surprising myself at just how much of the kind of things that I get through, and realizing that I did not die. I did not die. I got through that, and damn, no, 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 no. I am strong. I am strong. I did not die. And you are not going to die. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it day by day, step by step. And honestly, I'm starting to resent the word resilience, but yeah, you build a whole lot of resilience as you grow up, as you start managing your own life. And the other thing that we need to make sure that we incorporate into our lives, that we never ever neglect ourselves, and that is self-care and rest. I don't care how important your job is or how demanding it is. If you don't look after yourself, you will not be able to do the things that you need to do. You will not be able to give your all in all the things that you need to do. So this is not just about pampering yourself, and a good skincare routine and whatever that is, but it's developing really routines that are really good for you, that support your well-being. And that's learning about yourself and what kind of boundaries you need to set. What kind of boundaries are you setting for yourself and your personal time and work? I am not taking any work calls, after a certain time. I am not going to open my work laptop. I'm not going to answer emails when I'm off, or, like after work and things like that. Making sure that you treat yourself. When you get paid, you go and treat yourself. You do something for yourself. You go and rest. You need to go to the spa. Like sometimes your body needs that, making sure that you go when you feel a little bit sick. Like don't just like go to the doctor if you need to, like sort the things out that need sorting. I am talking to myself as well, because I need to sort some things out. I have some back pain that I need to get checked out, but yeah. So it's those things, taking care of yourself, also building a community, is important. Um, Personally, I'm someone who moved to a new city and haven't had, geez, I haven't made friends actually. But having a support network, it doesn't necessarily have to be people that are physically near you, but your family, friends, people that are far away. Like my everyday friend is not even in the same province as me. Like, and we talk like on a daily basis. These are people, I have friends that are scattered all over the country, and they are the closest people to me. So yeah, like those people will be your saving grace, I promise you. um but essentially it's a journey, man. It's a journey, and it is an emotional journey as well. There is feelings of loneliness and isolation that you may experience, and there's the ups and the downs, but you 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 start to, no, I'm lying. It doesn't necessarily get easier. No, it doesn't get easier. And I don't want to say you get the hang of it, but you get to understand that things will happen and you just have to deal with it. So it's a mix of having the freedom and also having a lot of responsibility as well. So it'll stretch you. You will grow. You will grow in ways that you couldn't have imagined. But in the end, in the end, it is your life's journey, and you have agency over your own life. And as you start recognizing that, things somewhat get easier, and yeah. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Open Hearts Conversations. And if you found this helpful at all, please subscribe. Please leave a good rating, 5-star rating, and also share it with people who might find it useful. I'm really keen on hearing from you, and I would really love to hear just some of your own experiences as well with navigating independence and adulting. So please leave a comment, follow me on social media. Let's chat, let's have a good time. So thank you very much for being part of this episode, and until next time, keep your hearts open and your mind curious. Independence is a journey. Okay, love you. Bye.